So the first thing we're going to do is go to the daily on these. We'll start a new chart, zoom out. So as we can see, we've got this one dot here. Connecting this dot to really anything else down here is not going to serve us any purpose. Nothing. Even if we put on that dot, the move that we'd have to have has got to move 154 pips before it even takes shape. So we're not even going to look at that. We don't have any dots on the top that we can really connect except for right there, and we can connect those. So what we'll do is we'll connect these top 3 dots like this, and then we're going to connect from the top to that lower dot right there. And then next up, we're going to get the pitch fan and just hit that top one like that. And you can see that it basically lines up really good with the top one. The bottom one is subjective. It's not dead on. But then we're going to go down to the bottom one and do this number here. And look at that. It lines up with that one. So now it's like, all right, cool. Let's do this number. We'll put it right there in the middle. That way we know that that's our zone right there. So when we look at this on the daily, if we get on top of this trend line, we'll at least push up into this zone, which gives us that right there, which is a swing low. It's basically right on that point. So all I'm going to do is now skip down to the 1 hour and zoom out and see where we're at. So we can see that top trend line is right here. So it's either going to reject off that or it's going to push through. But what we do have here is a really nice dot to dot right there, which is where price is at. And then we have another dot to dot right there. So chances are, if it breaks this, it's going to hit this and it's going to push back up and bounce, right? Right. We're going to connect more dots. The last dot I see on my screen is right here. That puts us right there. So it's in a very good spot to bounce right here, test this trend line, break, and at least go back up into this area somewhere through here. If it doesn't, worst case scenario is it's going to break this trend line, hit right here, and then bounce up. So what are we going to do? We're going to drop 10 standards on it. And we're going to move our stop loss to the last swing low right there. We're going to zoom out and we're going to take a quick little scout move, which is from here to this swing high. Okay. Just like that. Now, granted, our stop loss is a lot less than our TP, but that's unfortunately the zone we're at. It'd have been great if we'd have seen the trade right here and we'd have said, you know what, boom, right there's your trend line, and it broke, and our stop loss then would have only been 36 pips for a 50 pip profit, 51 pip profit. In this scenario, we're only taking a 31 pip profit for a 55 pip stop loss. So it's not that great, but that's one trade we're in now. So we'll just jump to odd U. And again, I'm moving quick, but obviously you guys can go back and watch this. I just wanted y'all to see how I'm marking these up. So we're going to go to odd U, go to the daily. We're going to get a clean chart. That trend line there. Keep in mind, these are dailies. Do a dot to dot here, a dot to dot here. I'm really not concerned with a dot to dot this high right now at all. I want to hit these down here. And I'll take this dot to dot and hit this bottom one and see where we're at there. And look at that. I mean, we're on top of it. If we throw the pitch fan on this, I mean, we've got, it doesn't line up too good, but we can almost get, I mean, you can see that it's not that far off no matter where we're at. So we know that the trend lines are valid. So all I'm going to do is come in here and say, we've already broken on top of this zone here. We've gotten on top of that trend line. So again, what are we going to do? We're going in 10. Let's buy. My stop loss for this trade is going to be this last swing low. My TP is going to be my last. I've got a swing high right here that pushes right there. I do have this swing low right here. I don't like taking TPs on swing lows, but that is areas where it can reject. But we're going to stay with the rules, and we're going to say right there at the top of that zone. Now, if we look at that and we do a wick fill, we can see that basically when it got back in this zone here, it missed it and slammed down, came back up and tapped it and slammed down. So we want to be somewhere in the area of consolidation. That way we still stay within this range here or this range here. So if we zoom in, I really like how this daily range looks right there and how it looks right here. So we're going to take it down to the 1 hour and see what it looks like then. So we'll do this. Now we'll go to the 1 hour and zoom out. And it looks pretty solid. Our stop loss is on the last daily, which is good because being here would be pretty close. I like this daily because we've been going upwards, but I really like this TP right there now. So this one here is too close to me. That one looks good. We know that if we at least get on top of this one, it would push up to that daily zone, but we don't want to risk the trade. So we'll just take that entry right there and go just like that. Boom. That gets us out of that consolidation area we saw on the daily, which is all this area here. And what we saw here where it just got up and tapped it and then came back and fell. So this right here would be a solid trade if it all works out. All right, CAD-J. Go to the daily. This looks fun, said no one. Zoom out. What do we got? A dot to dot's right there. That's way down there. Our entry was this dot to dot right there. I mean, look at that. Dot to dot broke, drawdown of 27 pips, now in profit, 1,488 pips. We missed that trade. Unless, look at this. Look at the weekly. This was the last weekly high of 2014. It tapped it and gave us a swing high. So you know what? These are the fun ones to play. Look at the hour. There's your wick fill right there. And look, it tried to break, and slam down. It's a 108 pip trade. We missed that trade, but something that we can still get. We could be in drawdown if it comes back up here and taps this. But man, this thing could slam all the way back down here. If we look at the daily, I mean, there's room. So this is a trade that you take the risk on because it still could come back up here and tap you out. So we'll move it a little bit higher. But at the end of the day, this thing could also fall, 200, 300 pips. So let's do this. We'll go in here, 10 standards, click sell. We're going to move it right there's the dot. We're going to give it a little bit of breathing room right there. TP for this trade. Let's take TP down to the bottom area right there, just like that. So what that gives us is it gives us an area where we came down, we broke, we slammed down, support, bounce, support, bounce. We'll see what happens here. So with this trade, we're risking a 140 pip stop loss for a 250 pip trade. I like that setup. We'll do one more. I like GJ. We'll see what GJ looks like on the daily. Go ahead and refresh the chart. Zoom out. And we got some dots. Got some dots right there on the bottom. So we'll take this dot here and connect it to the smallest dot at the bottom. And then we just start connecting these dots down here on the end. Look, that's a dot to dot there. That's beautiful. And let's just see what happens when we connect to another dot right there on the top. Look at that. Rejected right off that trend line. We've got a wick fill right here, like that. Then we have another wick fill at the top up here, like this. Look at the hour. We can see as soon as it hit that trend line, it slammed down. So what I like on the daily is this thing could come back up here and test this, but it sure could fall pretty quickly. So let's do this. On this one, same thing. We're going to risk less with GJ because GJ can get pretty wild. We're going to choose sell. I'm going to put it above that gray box. Close that out. Put the gray box here. We'll put it about right there. And then we're going to go TP to the last swing low. So we got the swing low dot, but I'm going to go to the base of this one. See that right there? They almost line up pretty. If I go to the base of those candles, that puts me right here at this consolidation area where we rejected. And if we look at that dot and that dot line up because that was rejection, which could also turn into support. So we're going to go right there. So for this trade, I'm risking $17,000 to make 23, which is a solid risk. And that's the.
What's up, guys? Checking in real quick. Wanting to give an update on these trades that we took last night. So obviously the trades that we took last night
were our odd USD. We did hit TP. So if we go look at our history here, you're gonna see that NU trade. So that was the NU trade. You guys saw us mark up, hit TP at $3,000. Odd U, we got into buys. I've already got my protection. That way we can't lose that trade no matter what. It's in fat profits. CAD-J slammed down from our deepest point of it to where it's at now is 25 pips. All good because guess what? We're protected again on this one, so can't lose this trade, but it fell, broke the trend, looks great. And then obviously, you know, there was the NU. You can see where we took the trade. TP did get a little bit higher, but it's coming back down now, so good thing we got out of that. And then GJ. So we look at GJ, and we got the break, and it's protected as well. So where we're at with those trades, if we look at current trades, we've got our odd USD right there at 3,200, our CAD-J at 58, and then our GJ at 37. So, I mean, basically between these two here, we got 7K running, almost 6,000. That's 13,000. And then our history on that trade, we closed out at 3. So, I mean, 16,000 since some changed trades overnight. If we closed everything out right now, since we're protected, we're going to let these things run and just see what we can get throughout Friday coming into Monday. But yeah, I mean, you guys saw how easy it was. I marked it up. I didn't overanalyze. I went in, dropped some trend lines, did my thing. This is where we're at with it. So pretty stoked with the trades. For the people who are part of the team mentorships and the accelerated classes, then obviously this is what we covered last night. So fun times, and